The old men had come to set the world right. They stood in the ruins of learning, where once there had been something resembling wisdom. Not truth, not justice, but at least the idea of them. A belief that if a thing was said enough times, if it was printed in books and spoken aloud in halls of stone, it might begin to take shape in the world. But the men had decided there was nothing left worth saving. The one called Ackman was first among them, not by virtue of wisdom or might, but simply because he had the will to take and to burn. He had made his fortune in the way of all such men, not by making or building, but by knowing when to tear down. He had watched cities fall and called it opportunity. He had seen men ruined and called it strategy. And now he had come for the universities. The others followed him, their faces hard, their voices loud, each certain that what they did was righteous. It was not enough to expose weakness. It had to be destroyed. They spoke of purity, of righteousness, of the dangers of softness. They spoke of war. They called their enemies corrupt, dishonest, unworthy. And then they set about proving it by stripping them bare before the mob. The professors and presidents had seen it coming, but too late. They had built great machines of learning, believing them indestructible, but they had not prepared for men who did not care for learning at all. And so they fell. The woman called Claudine was one of the first. Dragged out before the fire, her name smeared, her history rewritten to fit the story the men wanted to tell. She was not perfect, but perfection was never the point. She was a sacrifice, a lesson, a warning. The schools began to rot from the inside. The old ways of learning, of debate, of questioning were pushed aside for something sharper, something crueler. The men wanted obedience. They wanted the old order restored, the one where power stayed where it belonged, where men like them did not have to answer to anyone. The students watched in silence, wondering what came next. Some believed the schools would be saved. Others saw the truth. There was no saving to be done. The halls of learning had already become battlegrounds, and soon they would be ruins. Ackman stood above it all, watching, waiting. He did not have to build anything. He did not have to teach or learn. He had only to burn. And in the cold wind that followed, where once there had been ideas, there was now only ash.